Hey everyone, welcome back to the second iteration of my video newsletter for the month of September. Before we get into it, I just want to take some time to acknowledge that I actually made my first newsletter called the Han Express a year ago today for the month of September 2020. It's been an incredible year full of tons of learning, tons of growth, tons of meeting new people, working on cool projects. I just want to say huge thank you to everyone who supported me so far, and I can't wait to see what the future brings. Speaking of the future, one of my main goals for the month of September was to understand what does the next part of my journey look like. So I looked at what were my main interests right now, which are machine learning, neuroscience, and problem solving. And under problem solving, I actually couldn't decide which problem I want to solve. There are too many problems. They all seem really interesting. So I then approached it from the angle of what is a tool I can build that will enable me and others to solve the most problems. This is where I got to the field of artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is essentially when we can get AI to mimic human-like intelligence. This means you'll be able to understand cause and effect, be able to understand abstraction, be able to understand social and emotional management, and all of these crazy things. And the end goal to build transferable intelligence that will allow it to tackle these larger multidisciplinary problems. So AGI is obviously a very long-term goal, and I'll talk a little bit about my plan for learning and my 3-month plan towards the end of the newsletter. But for the month of September, I mainly focused on refining my vision, which I'll talk about for the Patrick Poirier Award in the next slide, but also breaking myself into the field, understanding the scope of the field, what are the approaches, where is everyone at, and getting myself caught up to speed. Speaking of which, I think towards the end of October, I applied for this Patrick Poirier Solving the Impossible Award. And what this was, is it was supposed to be a lifetime of funding that would be awarded to a scientist or like a researcher between age of 14 to 18 that would fund their research for the entire life on the problems that would push humanity forward. So I applied with my vision for AGI, and I didn't think too much of it. Then 2 weeks ago, I actually got an email saying that I'd been selected for an interview with Patrick Poirier. So after prepping, I had a great conversation with Patrick around AI, AGI, the future of what are the barriers to reaching it, the issues with the current funding ecosystem. And actually last I got an email saying that I've been selected as one of the top 5 finalists to win this award. And it's been super grateful, super thankful for the experience. And I'm super excited. I'll be presenting live on October 8th. I'll leave the registration link down in the description to show you all of you my presentation. So definitely catch me there. And apart from that, I've also been continuing to work on my internship at Quantiphi. So the month of September, it was a lot of learning, a lot of failing, to be honest, because I was mainly looking at what are the different models. I'm working on a computer vision project. What are different models, different techniques, different pipelines I can do to increase model accuracy. And it was a lot of, like I said, a lot of failing, a lot of failed approaches, a lot of long time where I couldn't figure things out. But I think that was the main skill I developed, is the learning from failures and the figure it out mindset, which is continuing to be developed. And so apart from that, I've actually started my formal building and public journey on Twitter. And the main intention of this is to build serendipity, as seen on the right, and increase number of spontaneous opportunities that will occur, but also to provide value. So I'll be sharing at least one daily insight. I posted my first one yesterday around what were my goals for the month of October, making them public, and so I can bring you all part of my journey and hold me accountable to those goals. So I'll be sharing insights from things I've learned, conversations I've had, reflections I've had, to just provide value and build the community. So apart from that, I'm actually returning to TKS to the second-year program called TKS Activate, which is still a big focus on personal growth, but is more structured, where Innovate was more structured towards learning. Activate is more structured towards impact. So it's understanding what are the frameworks, what are the problems, how can we actually create, how can we be the needle movers and actually create impact in these biggest problems and biggest technical problems like AGI that the world is facing today. There's a great Activate newsletter that I'll drop in the description as well to give a quick overview of what the year looks like. So super pumped for this. Michael and Brandon have been amazing directors. Super excited to meet everyone, and I can't wait. So just to end off, I want to talk about my 3 main goals for the month of October. So as you can see at the top, this symbolizes my AGI research. So I have a 3-month plan, and the first month is just getting the research and understanding. So in terms of content, that would be I'll be producing a highly technical white paper or some sort of in-depth memo around what does the field of AGI look like today, what are the barriers, talking to different people at different frameworks, etc. The second is the Patrick Poirier Solving the Impossible Award. My presentation's on the 8th. I'm going to be grinding super hard to get that. And obviously concluding my Quantiphi internship, which is ending on October 25th. So I'm grinding hard to conclude that strong. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll catch you next month.